Hello chums, and welcome to Taming a Monster, the series where I take some of Gran Turismo 7's most ridiculous cars to see if I can tweak them so that a talentless pleb like me can handle them without being killed to death. Like any common ruffian, I'm using a bog-standard PlayStation 5 controller, and I have all driver assists turned off, except for ABS. Let's see what car is trying to murder me today! Today's monster is one of the newly added cars for update 1.59. I like American cars. I really like Corvettes, and I love the C5. With its LS engine being capable of a very healthy 900 horsepower, I thought it qualified for a monster taming video. As usual, all upgrades have been fitted, including power upgrades, weight reduction, wide body, and the body rigidity increase. None of the settings have yet been touched, except downforce, which is maxed, and the transmission, which has already been adjusted for this car. I have fitted aftermarket wheels, which are larger than standard. This can improve agility at the potential cost of the car's ability to handle bumps or curves. I have also fitted a front splitter for front downforce, the Type B rear diffuser for extra front and rear downforce, and an ugly custom wing for extra rear downforce when compared to the Type B rear wing. If you're interested in learning more about aero, downforce, or any other aspect of tuning your car, I have a series called Tuning for Beginners which covers everything from suspension to differential to the transmission. The test track today was Watkins Glen. The launch was mediocre. Thanks to decent weight distribution, it could have been much worse. The C5 is a mixed bag without any adjustments. It's by no means the worst car to drive, but it's kind of like a nervous German Shepherd. You're never 100% sure if it's going to bite you or not. Its power delivery is so sudden and it's comparatively lightweight, so accelerating out of corners can cause some very sudden oversteer. It also feels like it sometimes doesn't quite turn in as much as you'd expect. The wheels may be hitting the arches, but it's fairly hard to tell. As usual, it also leans a lot. So, unsurprisingly, I increased anti-roll bars and natural frequency. Like with the V12 Jaguar from last time, I set both of them lower at the rear to prevent power oversteer. Just like with the majority of cars on racing tyres, the flatter handling made the car more predictable, though not necessarily faster or less prone to oversteer. Natural frequency is almost always the most important and transformative part of setting a car up, but everything else needs to work with it. Next up, I adjusted the LSD. I reduced initial torque and braking sensitivity to improve agility, and I reduced acceleration sensitivity to send more power to the inside wheel, reducing oversteer. For some cars, tweaking the limited slip diff can completely transform the handling. This Corvette isn't one of them. It was improved, slightly, but the difference wasn't very noticeable. However, some of the understeer had been removed. For my final changes, I finished off the suspension. Increasing compression can make the car more stable over curbs. Decreasing camber will slightly improve straight-line traction without impacting cornering performance. Adding some rear toe in will also reduce power oversteer. Those final tweaks did seem to complete the setup. The Corvette felt generally more composed and less prone to understeer on turn-in when compared to the starting point. So, it was now time to see how the car would fare at the Nurburgring. The setup was mostly fine for the Nordschleife test, however I did slightly decrease rear downforce, which will make the car more agile at high speeds. The C5 Corvette is similar to the Jag from last time, except that it isn't. Its front engine, rear-wheel drive, has nearly 1000 horsepower, and it has tons of downforce for high-speed cornering. The two cars handle completely differently though. The Jag gets a fairly impressive lap time through being predictable, stable, and having lots of grip. This Corvette, meanwhile, is batshit. Its power comes on instantly, it turns in well, and it has fairly low aerodynamic drag, so it gets a decent top speed despite all the downforce. However, what feels like a faster car comes at the cost of it being slightly harder to control. It's much better than it was at the start of the video, but compared to how friendly the Jaguar F-Type was, this Corvette is a bit more dangerous. It's a bloody brilliant addition to the game either way though. It performs well at 6, 7 or 800 performance points. It's nicest to drive at 700 performance points with no supercharger though. Not to mention, it sounds rather nasty as well. In the end, the C5 got a 6 minutes 7 seconds, just behind the 1400 horsepower Ford GT and just ahead of the 1800 horsepower Lexus RCF. This car punches well above its weight and is a force to be reckoned with. So, that was my attempt to tame a monster. I hope my settings helped, or that you enjoyed this video. Join me next time where I'll be driving something bigger. Thank you very much for watching, and if you're feeling particularly generous, I would greatly appreciate your subscription. Take care now, and ta-ra.